fan zones around the country went wild. We are live tonight in Rome. Also this evening, face masks should stay. The plea from doctors to keep them on even when other restrictions are eased. And
British tennis has a new star.
a talent beyond her years, 18-year young Emma Raducanu's unbelievable run at Wimbledon.
This is ITV News with Chris Shipp.
Hello, good evening. It's been a long time coming, 25 years in fact, but England are tonight through to the semi-finals of the Euros after beating Ukraine 4-0 in Rome. A confident team came alight with 2 goals from captain Harry Kane, another from Harry Maguire and Jordan Henderson getting his first for England. It means they play Denmark at Wembley on Wednesday. Win that and, well, dare to dream. The final is a week tomorrow. Our correspondent Geraint Vincent reports from the Stadio Olimpico in Rome.
The chance to watch England play in the Eternal City, very limited by Italy's quarantine rules. Travelling fans couldn't travel, so England's supporters tonight were here already.
This is historic. This is the only time that you've got expats being able to go to a game and nobody else. There's going to be a very chosen few inside that stadium.
I've told all my friends, lend me your voices, I'll sing for you.
Inside the Stadio Olimpico, England fans' excitement was rewarded by an England lineup which looked like it had been picked to attack. And they didn't hang around. England were in what seemed like permanent possession for the opening minutes, and after just 4 of them, Harry Kane made it count.
An early chance, an early England goal.
England were playing with confidence, but this is a Ukrainian team with some attacking intent of its own. Roman Yaremchuk picked up on a loose pass and Jordan Pickford had to make a sharp save. England's number 1 clearly unhappy with the carelessness in defence.
But he ain't happy about it.
England responded to that telling off by keeping the ball well once again. Raheem Sterling drove into the danger areas. One cross was eventually picked up by Declan Rice, whose powerful shot was parried away. The Ukrainians had clearly had enough of Raheem's relentless running, and in attack, Yaremchuk was getting physical as well, climbing all over Rice and barging through Harry Maguire. In the second half, Ukraine's players continued to not worry too much about getting the ball when tackling. The stamp on Harry Kane resulted in a free kick. Luke Shaw's delivery was met with the formidable forehead of Harry Maguire, who leapt high to bury it in the corner of the net. A few minutes later, Luke Shaw again, this time with a perfect cross for his skipper to head home.
That should do it!
England fans could rest assured Harry Kane has rediscovered his form. Ukrainian hearts, meanwhile, were starting to break. England didn't let up. Captain Kane had another shot on goal, and then from an England corner, substitute Jordan Henderson, who's played 62 times for his country but never scored, put away another header. His celebration was worth the wait.
Unbelievable!
Victory had been all but secured with 20 minutes to go, so Gareth Southgate started to make substitutions, saving key players for the challenges to come. This was such an assured performance from his players. Ukraine were tough opponents, but their defeat was comprehensive, and once again, England gave away no goals. England's 1 game away from home in this tournament really could not have gone much better. They travelled to Rome, but ended up in dreamland.
Right, let's go to the Stadio Olimpico, shall we? Live, Geraint is there. So, Geraint, Gareth Southgate clearly working his magic with this team.
He is, and what a perfect night for him. A comprehensive, stress-free victory, no injuries and no suspensions. Difficult to pick out any of the individual players because they all did so well, but probably worth reflecting for a moment on Gareth Southgate's achievement. He took over the England job after England had lost to Iceland in the last European Championships 5 years ago. Since then, Gareth Southgate has taken England to 2 major tournaments and he's got to the semi-finals in both of them. That's a better record than any of his recent predecessors. And I think he's generated created an atmosphere in the England setup, which is very similar to a successful club in the Premier League. There's a real togetherness, the players know their jobs, and they play for each other. Club England, Chris, is going places, and the next place is Wembley in a few days' time.
Indeed it will. Geraint, thank you very much indeed. So how did it go down here? Well, fans packed pubs, bars and fan zones to watch the game. That there was the reaction to Kane's opener at the Giant fan park in Manchester. And of course, there were socially distanced celebrations like these at the Black Dog in Oadby in Leicestershire. They were repeated in pubs up and down the country. Now, one of the biggest fan zones tonight was in Croydon. Our correspondent Sergio Carey is there. Sergio, you don't need me really to ask you this. How did it go down?
Well, they couldn't make it to Rome because of COVID restrictions, but that didn't stop England fans here, like those across the nation, from roaring the team on. The scenes here were jubilant and joyous. Fans were in full voice, singing and chanting and cheering every time England scored each of their 4 goals. And some of those fans told us what this win meant to them.
4-0! Oh, the boys! Harry Kane smashed him.
I think he's coming home. Elliot, is it coming home?
Denmark have got absolutely no chance.
4 incredible goals, 11 incredible players, 1 incredible manager. Gareth Southgate, Harry Kane, incredible England!
England, brilliant. I couldn't think of a better performance. Southgate team scored 4 goals. It's coming home. It's got to come home. Come on!
So England are through to their first Euro semi-finals for 25 years, and fans here are daring to dream that football could actually come home.
Thank you, Sergio. Well done. So England are through. Next up, Denmark at Wembley on Wednesday. Mark McQuillan watched how the Danes won their game earlier this evening.
These are moments to absorb, to savour. A huge knockout match with a semi-final at Wembley on the line. These fans didn't know at this stage that England would be waiting. So too, a 60,000 strong crowd. Denmark looked the early favourites to head to London in front inside 5 minutes.
Denmark strike first!
And the Danes were in dreamland shortly before half-time.
A terrific cross and a wonderful goal!
Kasper Dolberg with his 3rd goal of the tournament. England's defenders will be wary on Wednesday. The Czech Republic made it interesting by scoring early in the second half, but the Danes held firm to win 2-1.
It is Denmark who go through to the semi-finals.
So it will be many of the neutrals' favourites against the home favourites for a place in the final. Mark McQuillan, ITV News.
And there are full extended highlights of England's win and the Denmark match here on ITV right after this programme. Right, to the day's other news now, and leading doctors are calling for face masks to stay in place, especially in shops and on public transport, after final lockdown restrictions are lifted in England as expected later this month. Simon Harris reports.
COVID rules have become second nature to many of us, so abandoning masks after 15 months might feel strange. And if the government does order the change on July the 19th, it won't please some doctors. The British Medical Association wants compulsory mask wearing to stay, for now at least, to try to halt the spread of the virus.
Given that we have extremely high levels of community spread of infection, we think that in public places where people are in enclosed environments, there should be mask wearing to protect each other.
That didn't worry the shoppers we spoke to.
I think it would be okay. I don't mind wearing a mask.
I'm not particularly bothered by the mask, and it actually makes me feel slightly more protected.
I hate it, but you still have to do it, you know. Got to follow the rules.
To feel the rhythm of life, to feel that powerful beat.
The key to ending all restrictions is the success of the vaccination programme. The latest attempt to get more people jabbed is this mini musical, a celebrity-packed video with the rhythm of life as the soundtrack.
It's important that we all are, singing from the same hymn sheet, but also trying to encourage everybody to say, please take the vaccine, because this is a need and a necessity to get back to the rhythm of life.
And if you come into close contact with...
Even after a second jab, anyone pinged by the NHS app can be told to self-isolate. With the number of cases rising, it's causing problems for many businesses who lose staff. But the government confirmed today it will look at scrapping the self-isolate rule for the double jabbed. Simon Harris, ITV News.
Finally, there was some good news at another sporting tournament tonight. The rise of Britain's new teenage tennis star. Wimbledon wildcard entry Emma Raducanu beat the Romanian Sorana Cristea to become the youngest British woman in the Open era to reach the fourth round. Joshua Stokes has the action.
2 months ago, she was sitting her maths exam. Now she's competing on a world stage. At just 18 years old, Emma Raducanu is making quite the impact.
Oh my goodness!
Originally from Canada, Raducanu moved to Britain at 2 years old, and after picking up a tennis racket aged 5, she found her sport.
Oh, I don't believe it.
She can't either.
Today, going one step further, progressing to the fourth round at Wimbledon.
And we have just heard one of the sporting roars of the year.
At the beginning, when I was packing to come into the bubble, my parents were like, aren't you packing too many sets of match kit? I think I'm going to have to do some laundry tonight, but I think they have a laundry service at the hotel, so I'm all good, guys.
Now the wild card is the last British woman in the singles draw, making a name for herself on a global level.
British tennis has a new star.
Joshua Stokes, ITV News.
And that's it, a stress-free night for England's football fans. Who knew? Good night.